Hey ladies, today is Monday, September 16, 2019. I'm exactly 10 weeks postpartum today. And just wanted to give a little bit of an update. Um, I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed today. I don't know why. Like an uneasiness. Um, I haven't felt that in a while. Like I was feeling that a lot up until like an anxiety and an uneasiness. I was feeling that a lot like the first 6 weeks. It's I don't want to say stop, but it tapered off after that. But today I'm feeling like I don't know, very anxious, very not depressed, at least not yet. But really like as if I'm not. I don't know. Worry, anxiety, just anxiety. I don't even know what to pin it to. Um, I don't know if it's in regards to the baby, if it's in regards to like my job. I'm 10 weeks out, as I said. I don't have to return to work anytime soon, actually. I have 7 months. So, um, since she is 10 weeks, but she's 10 weeks today, but she's 2 months in like 1 week and 1 day. So she's not actually 2.5 months yet. So I've been on maternity leave. She was born July 8th. So September 8th was 2 months, and that was like a week ago. Um, but I don't know. I'm having this anxiety and I don't know what it's about. Could it still be hormones? I mean, I know the hormones last in your system and your body for, 6 months to a year, depending on how long you breastfeed. I do breastfeed and pump. But I don't know. I don't know why I feel this way. And it just makes me feel uneasy. And I'm like, my days go by so quickly because quite honestly, the days get away from me because um I I'm doing all this baby stuff, right? And the days tend to get away from me. They do. Like they before I know it, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm like, when did that happen? I wish that happened when I was at work, right? But yeah, she naps, but I try to get things done. I very rarely nap when she naps, which is a thing you should do if you can. But I very rarely uh, does do do that. Um, she hasn't been sleeping as well. When she was a month old, she used to sleep completely through the night. She'd go to sleep around like 9 p.m. and she'd sleep until about 4:35 a.m., which was great, I think. I mean, she was still getting up early, but it was good and it was pretty predictable and consistent. Around 7 weeks, she stopped that and she started getting up like maybe every 3 or 4 hours, and that's how it's been since. Um, there's something called the Wonder Weeks, and I haven't really been really keeping up with it. And there's various milestones or leaps, as they call it. I shouldn't say milestones, but leaps and leap weeks when your baby's going through like a big cognitive development. I'm definitely not an expert on it. I'm just really learning about it because someone told me about it honestly when I was pregnant, but I was just like, there's so much people tell you. There's so much. Like, you have to sometimes just cut through the noise because people are going to give you a lot of advice, some of it right, some of it wrong, some you want, most of it you don't want. People are going to constantly tell you don't hold your baby all the time, don't hold your newborn, put your baby down. You're going to spoil your baby. there's actually, and none of those people are medical professionals, but there is actually scientific proof that you cannot spoil a newborn. A newborn, I didn't say you can never spoil them, but you can't spoil a newborn because at that age, they're looking for reassurance. They're looking to feel safe, protected, to know that you're going to be there for them. So yeah, when she cries, I tend to be there. I try to get to her. She is still a newborn. I try to get to her. So I don't let her cry for long periods of time if I can avoid it. I mean, sometimes you're in a shower, or you're in the bathroom, or you're whatever reason, but I do try to let her know that, I'm there, and that creates that bond. And there is research that establishing that bond now actually helps in the future to make them more independent later because you were there for them now. Now, there's research on everything, guys. Everything. You'll find 100 people saying 100 different things. I love the internet. I love being able to share with you guys. I love the blogs that I read and all that great stuff. But at the same time, they're horrible because everyone's going to tell you you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong, what they did, why their stuff's the best. Everyone's going to do that. And you got to cut through the noise. And that's what I'm doing. I'm better at it some days than other days. Because some days I'm like, well, I do that. Should I not be doing that? Or am I doing this wrong? Or should I be doing this for her? Or, should I enroll her in swimming classes? Should she had already been enrolled? Why am I not doing this? Because she could start swimming at 6 weeks and I didn't do it because my girl doesn't even like taking baths. So swimming is probably out of the question right now until she enjoys at least a little bath. She screams bloody murder in the tub. So what am I going to do with swimming lessons? But it was like, should she be in gymnastics? Maybe. Now that she's vaccinated, but I don't know. Am I a bad mom if I don't put her in these things right now? Am I a bad mom if I just kind of want a break? You know what I mean? And I don't feel like it. Like, is that an excuse? I just don't feel like it. So the reality is, when you're pregnant, before you get pregnant, you have all these amazing thoughts and all these amazing thoughts about what you're going to do and how you're going to be. And you probably will do most, if not all, those things. But once you have a baby, there's reality. And sometimes reality doesn't match everything you thought you were going to do or how you thought you were going to react and all of that. It doesn't match. It doesn't mean you love the baby any less. So I think sometimes, especially me, I'm a very type A personality. You have to be able to let go of how you thought it was going to be and what it actually is, and maybe try to cut through some of the noise that from all the things you hear. Like my baby, she watches TV. Now, not all day. Babies have very short attention spans, but now as her vision develops, and which is actually happening quite quickly for her, because usually that doesn't happen until about 3 months. But for the last week and a half, she has been noticing the television. Doesn't matter what's on. Could be a football game, could be a basketball game, could be anything. So once I noticed that she was noticing and actually paying attention to the TV, I started turning to a channel called Baby First, or Babies First, whatever. It's like just some random channel that I would never turn to before. That's included in my cable package. And she watches these little baby programs sometimes. Now, most of them are too old for her. A lot of them are geared towards toddlers. It is a very toddler and under channel. Most of the stuff is geared towards toddlers. But they do have times where they have like little, especially at night, they have little shows that are just music and drawings and black and white and red and different colors, and it's very visually stimulating, which is what she can see right now, and she likes that. And it's not like, it's not like characters, different like TV characters. It's more so, like I said, different drawings that are in black and white, different swirly color patterns. These are the things that she's paying attention to. So when I notice that she's watching television, I tend to try to find that. Matter of fact, I've recorded a couple of those specific episodes that I can play when she is, during different times. Now, there are people who would say your baby shouldn't be watching TV now. Baby can't watch TV until baby's 2 years old and shouldn't be getting any screen time until 2 years old. She does not sit for hours and watch television. She watches a few minutes because her attention span is not that long. She watches some of it. She's engaged by it. We talk about, well, I talk about it. I'll tell, oh, this is either drawing whatever. This is a flower. This is a pony or whatever they're drawing. And eventually she turns away, or she's off to something else. But we will do that, and I'll talk to her about it. And I don't see anything wrong with it, but there's plenty of people who think it's the worst thing. Someone even said on one of the blogs that watching TV leads to ADHD. I don't know how. I would think you could be born with ADHD if you have ADHD, but I know as a child I watched a lot of television. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I like to think I turned out okay. I'm not rich or anything, but it could be worse. Also, tummy time. Michaela doesn't like to do tummy time. Tummy time is apparently extremely important. We try to do it. I try to get her to do it for 10 minutes 3 times a day. We don't always get there. More often than not, we don't get there. I do try to get her to do as often as possible. She doesn't like to be on her play mat. I mean, she's on it, but she definitely doesn't try to do 10 minutes. She's not interested in a ton of toys. She does like the mirror, but she doesn't like a ton of the toys that are on there. She's not super interested in them. She likes the piano, but like the rattles and other little crap that's hanging off the mat, she has no interest in. Sometimes we do tummy time on the bed. She can also do it on your chest. And we do that. And I just found out another way to do tummy time is actually holding them and having them, or 2 ways. One, they can do it on your lap, which I don't do that often, but I did know about that, just laying the baby tummy down on your lap. But also holding the baby a certain way, like with your arm under them and them under them, but them being tummy down. I'm trying to get it in because I know it's important. She does hold her head up, but it's important for developing motor skills. Now, what's interesting to me is that I know for 100% fact that when I was a baby, there was no tummy time mats. Tummy time wasn't even a thing. So I wonder how everyone else in the world who's older than, I don't know, let's say 10, how did they learn how to do these things without these tummy time mats and people stressing tummy time? Because, when I talk to, my mother and older women who have adult children, they're like, what are you talking about, tummy time? Oh, okay. So you mean to tell me if we weren't doing this, I guess she wouldn't develop? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not disputing it at all that tummy time is important. Everything says it's important. So I believe it's important because everything says it's important. Everything you read is going to tell you tummy time is important. But it's just funny because talk to your mom. I mean, unless you're a child right now, it probably wasn't called tummy time, and it probably wasn't really a thing that you did like that. So I don't know. Guys, listen, they used to put babies down on their stomach. So as research, advances and we know more, then we do better. So they used to put babies down on their tummy. They don't do that anymore because they suffocate. But they used to tell you to put them down on their tummy. So when they're sleeping. So now it's on the back only. So they keep changing it. When I was in the hospital, one of the nurses put Michaela down. She was like, yeah, she should be on her back, but kind of on her side back in case she vomits. And I was like, well, everything's set flat on the back. So you're saying side back? Should I be doing side back? Listen, I don't know. But there's a lot of noise. And I don't know if that's what's causing the anxiety. It might be because maybe I feel like I'm messing her up by not listening to all the noise. I don't know how you do it. Just it's hard to filter through everything. But today that's how I feel. One last thing. Michaela has an umbilical hernia. She was born with it, and it's basically her belly button protrudes out quite a bit. I wish I could show you, but she's sleeping, and God knows I am not gonna mess with her right now. her belly button protrudes out quite a bit. And when she cries or strains or stretches, it fills up. It's like a little balloon. It's actually, it could be a little unnerving at times, and especially when she cries, it like puffs up, like almost like a mushroom balloony type thing. So I had bought, okay, going back, her pediatrician said it is very common. Don't do anything. Once she starts walking, her abdominal muscles will pull it in. Now you would think, oh, okay, I don't know, when do babies start walking? A year or so? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll let you know when I find out. Um, but right now it's like, okay, so she has this, it kind of sits out, and it's not cosmetic for me. I don't care about that. I want to make sure the skin isn't pinched because it is always kind of out. So if you're zipping up something like a zip up sleeper, you need to be mindful. If she doesn't have a onesie on, sometimes I put a onesie on under her sleepers, but since it's been the summertime, it's been hot, so she hasn't always had a onesie on under the sleeper. But maybe now we're going into cooler weather, she might. But you have to be mindful not to like pinch it with the zipper, or just pinch it period when you're like dressing her. But it's supposed to be pulled in. Now, her pediatrician said it will go away when she starts to walk. That's true and not true. So from me researching, it could take up to 5 years for that thing to go away. So yeah, it'll go away when she starts walking, but not like, right away. And so again, it's not a cosmetic thing. I don't really care. I mean, but it is really interesting that, she has it and her pediatrician says, let's not do anything about it. But me being me, I bought a belly band because this is actually a very common thing, and they have belly bands for babies all over internet and Amazon, and there's a lot of information that says that they don't work. Sorry about the dogs. But it's back in the day, they used to do them all the time. I know they did a lot of things back in the day that you shouldn't do now. But I ended up ordering one from Amazon. I just wanted to show you. I actually don't use it. But this is it. This is a little band. This kind of, sorry, I dropped it. This kind of feels like leathery, which is weird. I mean, it's very flexy and soft, but it's leathery. And it's just a little Velcro band. Sorry. Strong Velcro. So it's like extendable size, you can see. And if you can also see that there's this little pad in the middle. This is where her belly, the hernia should be. And you can remove this pad. It comes off. Again, the Velcro is strong. So this is the bad one. It's not one there. This is a large oval one. There are two other ones, smaller ones. As the hernia deflates or goes down, they're supposed to be put on the other pads. But this is the first one you start with. I don't use it. Why? Well, because two reasons. Although I bought it, and I'm definitely thinking about sending it back to Amazon. Although I bought it, I bought it to her last doctor visit this past week where she got her vaccinations, and her pediatrician said don't use it. She said don't do anything. So that's why I'm not using it. And then two, the other reason is I tried it on her. I'm like so scared of hurting her, of course, as you should be. And it's not super tight. It does extend. I mean, and I didn't want to make it too tight on her. You do need to make it snug enough to hold the belly button in, but it didn't necessarily stay in place as much as I would like. And she's not moving a ton. Like, she moves, but she's not, crawling or anything. So it does somewhat stay in place, but it needs to kind of just stay over that belly area and not really rise up. And sometimes I felt like it would ride up a little bit. I did put it on her to try it, and I ended up taking it off. I told myself I would keep it on, but then I put it on her when she was sleeping, and then when she got up, she was acting like she was in distress, and I thought it was this. So no, I took it off, but then she was still acting like that. So it may have just been gas. So I don't know. Could have just been gas because she was fine a few minutes later, or it could have been this thing. I don't know. I haven't put it on her since. I'm thinking about sending it back. Well, I think I will send it back, but I'm trying to figure out what I should do for this umbilical hernia. You know, do I leave it alone and just, let her wait until she gets a little older, and hopefully it'll pull itself in. But in small cases, it requires surgery. So, do we wait and I don't do anything about it now and then find out later she needs to have a surgery to repair it? I don't know what to do. There's always something. It is. Being a mom is hard. Being a parent is definitely hard because now you have this, you go from one day you're one person and in one, well, I would say in one moment, but then all of a sudden you're two people. You are two people. It's crazy. Can you even fathom that? And then you have so much responsibility to this other person. And if you've had multiple children, you're like 2, 3, 4, 5, however many kids you have, all these, all this responsibility. And she's relying on me for everything. So it's amazing, but it is also extremely scary because you don't want to make the wrong decisions. And I'm sure, we'll screw up at some point. I feel like I'm always messing her up. She's so perfect. And I'm like, oh, am I messing her up? Why should I be doing this? Am I not doing that? Am I doing this wrong? Am I doing that wrong? I don't know, guys. But anyway, I just wanted to give you my, 10-week update and have another phone ringing. I will talk to you guys soon.